And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK. Today is Monday, July 20th, 2026. And the Buck and I are with y'all for the next 2 hours on today's show. SEC Media Days is underway in Tampa. What did Commissioner Greg Sankey have to say about the future of the SEC? We'll go around some of the bigger headlines from day one of that event. We've got some sound from Steve Sarkisian, who spoke at the Texas High School Coaches Association yesterday in San Antonio. Some thoughts from Sark talking about the 2026 Texas Longhorns. Speaking of the Texas Longhorns, could Cole Hudson be returning in 2026? We'll get into that story. Plus, our thoughts on the World Cup final, Ryan Fox winning the British Open, and the BBK news and why today's not so bad. We are locked and we are loaded and we are ready to roll on a Monday program. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend, and we appreciate y'all starting your weeks off with us. The best news of the day, the Buck is back. How are you today, my man?
I am fantastic. And thank you, everyone. And thank you, BK, for handling it when I was gone there. And thank you for all your prayers and your concern. Feeling a lot better than I thought. I had thoughts of them yanking 3 teeth, extracting 3 teeth, 1 on top and 2 in the bottom left, and me being swollen and black eye and everything else. And Dr. Steve Weider did a fantastic job. They knocked me out. It was like a colonoscopy. I didn't know what hit me once I got that into my bloodstream, and woke up and was ready to go, and got a bunch of stitches in my mouth, big holes in my mouth, until they put an implant in underneath where they sewed it up, and that's got to heal for like 3 months. And then they do some other stuff. I get a chance to go see him again. But I tell you what I'm sick of, tasting my own blood. Blood tastes nasty. And like I tell you, my breath is like a 6-pack of ass. It's just, it's just a nasty taste. If that's what iron tastes like, blood has iron in it. It's been gross. You wake up in the middle of the night from your face having stitches in it, and you spit, and it's these globs. It's not like just red blood. It's dark red. It floats to the bottom, and you get all grossed up, and you wonder if you don't choke on that stuff. But the taste of your own blood gets old in a hurry. But you know what? No pain, brother. I haven't had to take any painkillers, none of my Vicodin, and none of my hardcore stuff that I was just waiting to take and just drift off, grab a hold of my early bird and just sit on the couch and just drift away. It's been good. They did a good job. And once again, thank you for your prayers. And hopefully this is the last of the mouth things I have to do. And I let the doctor know before he started surgery. I'm like, dude, see these shiny white ones in the front and down the lower part? I said, those are veneers that got put in years ago. I said, with your weapons of mass destruction, please don't hit any of those. Those are hard to fix. So it got done. So I do feel good. And I'll say this to mom and dad, and if you got young kids, and for adults, you got to take care of your teeth, because they don't get better as you age. They get weaker. And as a guy called me baby boomer mouth from eating all those milk duds and all that junk at the movie theater and not taking care of it. So I'm getting it fixed, and hopefully I get it fixed and get it done here over the next couple of months. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I've got to ask a couple of questions based on what you just said. Number one, have you consumed a 6-pack of ass before?
No, I have not. I have not consumed any partaking of ass in my mouth,
Just curious what that metaphor was all about. I wanted to dive in there.
That's kind of what it would be. That's as close to it as I can think of your own blood. It's nasty. It's gross.
You mentioned it felt like a colonoscopy. Were they searching somewhere else? I thought it was all in the mouth. They were doing some other stuff to you while you were under?
Oh, he was saying this is the same stuff they put into you as they do for a colonoscopy. And he asked me, do you remember that? And I'm going to go, I don't remember anything but waking up and saying, when we get started? And people saying, you're done. And that was kind of the same here. I'm like, it was like 45 minutes to an hour of, dude, there's no telling how they do that stuff. I had a wisdom tooth taken out when I was a coach at Boston College. And I went to the dental school to have it done because I wasn't making any money. So I let them do it. And the guy had his knee in my chest and and that those things that you see people get ready to yank out of your mouth, the tool that they use, and he just gave me, a shot in there, and you could hear the tooth breaking and coming out of your jaw in your ear. I said, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to see nothing. And so I didn't. It was a beautiful thing. Medicine is a wonderful thing. And for $7,000, for $6,990,
Mm,
how much that dude pocketed. That's what I was thinking. How much does that dude actually pocket himself? Out of the $7,000, how much goes to him?
6,900.
Come on, man.
I don't
Come
know.
on. I'm just thinking, don't let your kids grow up to be cowboys. Make them doctors.
Oh, you're calling yourself a cowboy?
Yeah, make them
Oh,
cowboys.
you're saying I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Let your
All
kids
right.
grow up to go to med school and all
Yeah,
that
who
stuff.
doesn't want to spend 10 extra years in school and rack up copious amounts of debt that you got to pay off for the first 10 years of your medical career? What a great job.
Let me tell you, you do 3 of those in a day, and it only took an hour. You do 3 of those a day for a while. Can you imagine what your paycheck looks like? Because I know the girl behind the desk wasn't getting 1,500 out of that.
No.
I know you have to pay the rest of the people there, but my God, the guy who's doing the yanking and doing all the talking is making a good amount. So become a doctor. I got to talk to my grandkids now. Forget all that soccer playing. What is wrong with you? Forget all that T-ball. You need to go get ready to be lawyers or doctors or something. It's nuts. Good day to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you. We do appreciate what you do for us each and every day. And you don't get paid like they get paid. You do a lot of things, and your life is on the line. And thank you so much for putting your life on the line for all of us. And to you and your families, please be safe out there.
Amen. So the Buck is back for a Monday show. Plenty of sports happenings from the weekend to dive into. We'll start with a Texas football story and a potential important story for the upcoming 2026 Texas football season, which kicks off 47 days from today. Not that we're counting. Texas offensive lineman Cole Hudson, who was a senior on last year's team, who went through senior day festivities last year, who graduated the University of Texas this past year, who seemingly had exhausted all of his college eligibility, who entered the NFL draft, did not get drafted, but got a couple of tryouts, one with the Cowboys, one with the Browns, a guy who already said, I'm done playing football. I'm going to go pursue my MBA at the University of Texas. Well, he has filed a lawsuit against the NCAA looking for a temporary restraining order / injunction that would allow him to play a 5th season in 2026. You are seeing all sorts of athletes from all over the country. Heck, we've talked about it with a couple of Longhorns. Kendall Weaver did this in basketball. Jordan Pope, a.k.a. Pope Jordan, is doing this in basketball right now. Like a lot of recent graduates who did not get drafted in the next level of their respective sports are looking to take advantage of the NCAA's new 5-to-play-5 eligibility rule to try to get an extra season of college athletics. Cole Hudson doing that, and, well, there's a chance that Texas gets a very experienced offensive lineman back for the 2026 season, Buck.
Well, if you're going to do it, you can use the depth, that's for sure. And who knows if the guy wouldn't start? Who knows?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, but this is it, right? This is it. No more. This is the fit. Can this be the final straw? Or do we go through some more lawsuits next? They'll find something anyway by next year. There'll be more lawsuits about how do you leave it at 5 years? Why shouldn't it be 6 years?
Right. Well, the argument that he and so many other student athletes, I said student athletes around the country are making is, again, like, well, it's not fair. Now you're allowing everybody after us to get a 5th year of eligibility, and we don't get that. What gives? And we've already seen a judge in Ohio grant temporary injunctions to some student athletes up there, allowing them to play this season. Now,
what's Ohio State going to be loaded now? What did he go to Ohio State? Probably.
Well, the best of the best, like those guys, they got drafted in the NFL. So they're not like, oh, wait, I already signed my rookie contract in the league. I'm actually going to say no thanks. Let me go back to college for another year. So they're not getting Sonny Styles back for week 2 or Caleb Downs back for week 2, thankfully. But yeah, some guys, look, Cole Hudson, again, did not get drafted, had a couple of tryouts in the league, didn't make it very far, but a guy who appeared in 43 games at Texas, started 27 games. He's played left guard, he's played center, he's played right guard. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, maybe he'd start. He wouldn't be guaranteed a starting spot if he did get this injunction, but we know the importance of depth on the offensive line, and Texas is hoping to play, 15, 16, 17 games.
Yeah, we know the importance of this year, and if he's better than the other guys, and you may have promised some other guys something too bad, because this is it's all in.
It's all in 100%. And left guard, Cole Hudson started last year at center. He wasn't that great there. The Texas offensive line was obviously a disaster for the first 2 months of the year, but it got better when they shifted him to left guard and they put Connor Robertson in at center. We know Connor Robertson's going to stay the center, but left guard is still kind of, I think, an open position battle going into fall camp, which starts 2 weeks from tomorrow, by the way. So I think Cole Hudson, again, would not be a plug-and-play starter, but he would get at least an opportunity to show that he's good enough to once again start on this offensive line.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, they need him for the depth. So if he's able to do it, bring it on. Nothing wrong with it.
That's sort of how I feel.
That's for my team. I like it. For your team, I don't like it. For anybody else's team, for my team, I love it.
Yeah, I Venmo'd Ken Paxton $10 over the weekend to try to get this thing through. Am I doing this right, Cody Campbell? Is that who I need to talk to get what I want?
To do it.
Yeah. So look, I don't think Texas is doing a whole lot here. They're not filing the lawsuit. This is Cole Hudson doing it, and Texas, basically already said, like, oh yeah, if he gets approved, we've got a spot for him. And again, now that the rosters have expanded to 105 scholarships, it's not like Cole Hudson would be taking a spot that's currently reserved for somebody else. So they would happily take him back if, again, he is ruled eligible to play. So I hope it happens. 48 games at Texas. I think I said 47 earlier, and he started 23 of them in his Longhorn career. And plus, talking about the depth, Texas doesn't really have a proven backup center right now.
True.
You could argue they don't have a ton of proven backups anywhere, but they don't really have a natural backup center on their team. So if something were to happen to Connor Robertson, something were to happen to Connor Robertson, you may be throwing a guy there who's not ready yet. We know how important the center is, kind of the anchor on the offensive line. So Cole Hudson, again, who has started a number of games at center in his college career, like that, at worst for him, that would be his role as this team's number 2 center. I think there's no doubt he would be the first guy off the bench for that spot.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Somebody says, Buck, you thought y'all would be in Tampa for SEC Media Days. We've been to enough media days. We know exactly what's going down. We know how hard it is to get to people. We know how expensive it is to travel to those places. And, hey, why are they in Tampa? Couldn't you have it in a place that we're used to, like Atlanta?
You wouldn't go to Atlanta. That's your least favorite city in the world. What are you talking about?
No. Till we get to Vegas, they can quit trying. Vegas, I would say Vegas or Vegas. There's nothing. Maybe
that's
Miami.
The only one you would go to is. You went to Dallas a couple of years
ago.
Dallas
is good. I can go to Dallas right up the road.
Yeah.
Dallas, Vegas, maybe Miami.
I was going to say, it was in Atlanta last year, and I went, and you didn't. So don't be talking about you wanting to go to Atlanta. We know how you feel about that.
I'm talking about for the other people that enjoy that trip of listening. I heard Sankey today talk. He actually mentioned the word student athlete too, which I just started chuckling because he was talking about let's get on the ball. If the government's going to get involved, let's get this thing going. I'm like, well, you're the one dude that they gave the ultimatum to. You had to have this done like December 28th or something, and you couldn't figure it out. But now he wants it sped up. Let's get the process of what we're going to do going so we can get about the business of football. I'm like, man, you want this thing to take its time. And then he said, this is not fair to our student athletes. And I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, he dropped that.
Student athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He cares.
Yeah. Greg Sankey spoke this morning to kick off SEC media days, and it's usually a whole lot of nothing from him, and that's kind of what we got. Didn't really give an answer on the future of the college football playoff, right? Like expansion, that's obviously been a hot topic around the sport over the last couple of years, and we know we're at 12 for right now, but I think everybody expects it to go to 16 or maybe even 24 at some point in the not too distant future. And we kind of know what the argument has been in the past, or sort of the holdup has been in the past, is the Big Ten wants 24, the SEC wants 16. So those are the two biggest power brokers in college football. If they could agree on something, then we would have something. But because they couldn't agree on something, then we're still at 12, which I think a lot of people are okay with. But we know, again, the almighty dollar is what determines these decisions. And the more teams you get, the more money is going to lie in these pockets of all of these people. So we know it's going to go beyond 12, but we're still unsure what that next, I don't want to say final number. I'd really like to think if we got to 24, it'd be the final number, but
no.
The NCAA basketball tournament's just expanded to 76. Who knows how far football is going to go? But
I give it 24, and then 2 years after 24, it'd go up again.
Yeah, Greg Sankey, the quote that he gave about the future of the college football playoff: our responsibility is not to chase the next headline or simply react to the issue of the day. Our responsibility is to make principled decisions that strengthen college football, preserve what makes it special, and position it for long-term success.
Lots of talk with him about making Saturdays matter in college football, making the regular season matter. Yeah. I'm like, dude, you're not going to have anything to do with that. Fans are going to the games. They love college football on Saturdays. They've been going for generations. Their family's been going. Don't screw that. Don't try to make that. Don't try to do anything to screw that up. That's what you have to be careful of.
Well, look, I think a lot of college football fans don't want the CFP to expand. So you can obviously get mad at Greg Sankey for the fact that it's gone to 12, right? Like part of that's on him. If you wanted to stay at 4 or go to 8 or 10 or whatever. But you talk about the importance of Saturdays. Greg Sankey did sign off on a 9-game conference schedule, which means you're going to get bigger and better games in this league every single Saturday. Now, the opposite side of the coin, and why this is a bit of a hot button topic for SEC people, is, well, you just made it harder for your schools to get into the college football playoff because now they have to play more tougher games. And I think the SEC is the deepest league in the sport. But he, at least when it comes to Saturdays, he's like, no, I want more big games. Y'all play too many cupcakes in this league. Not you, Texas. Everybody else plays way too many out-of-conference cupcakes in this league. We're not doing that. We're at least adding one more big-time matchup to everybody's schedule. But again, Greg Sankey's going to take a lot of heat if some 9-3 SEC teams get left out of the college football playoff again in favor of a like 11-1 or 10-2 Notre Dame or Big 12 or ACC school.
Yeah, and I don't hear anything in his conversation about the league championship game either. That $800 million or whatever it is that they make, he's like, where the hell am I going to make that up at? What Saturday am I going to make that up at, dude? I don't know about you guys, but I'm not losing that game. I'm going to give you the toughest game on the regular season, and I'm going to give you a championship game. He doesn't say anything about dropping that game whatsoever. He's one of those guys I think will hang on to that, BK, to the very end, and I'm fine. I know how tough it is, but I think longtime SEC hunks would really like to keep that somehow, some way, and they want to pretend like your regular season isn't as tough as you think, because we're keeping that game. That game makes a lot of money.
Well, I would like to keep that game. I think it means something, like conference championships. I mean, you hang a banner, you put something in your stadium that commemorates you winning one of those. Like, that's always been a big deal in college sports, and I hope that doesn't go away. Now, hypothetically, you could still crown a conference champion if you just do it as a regular season award. But
sure,
what are you going to do if you've got 3 teams who finish 7-1 in the SEC? Are you just going to say all 3 of you guys get to claim conference titles this year? You're going to have some BS tie-breaking rule? I don't know. That's something that's got to be figured out. But you're right. There's a lot of money involved in that game, so I don't think Greg Sankey is ready to get rid of it.
I didn't realize that money was that big. Well, yeah, or you're having it at the Mercedes-Benz. Everybody, the advertisers are out of this world in that game when you think about it.
Yeah, well, I think it's big in part because the TV contracts were agreed upon years ago, and at the time, those games felt bigger than they do right now.
Sure.
So, CBS, I think they got the SEC every year, like they already paid for it. So that's they're happy with that. Greg, it's funny. So Mizzou is one of the teams that went today, and Eli Drinkwitz spoke. So you got Greg Sankey talking about how we've got the toughest conference in the sport, and we have the most demanding schedules in college football. He's like bragging about that, right?
Yes.
And then you've got a head coach of one of the schools in the league saying, yeah, a lot of us coaches already regret moving to a 9-game conference schedule. So not everyone's in unison here. You've got the commissioner whose job is to like make money for the universities, and the athletic directors are happy that their pockets are getting lined. His role is like, okay, what can I do to make the most money for us? And then you've got the coaches who like, well, now I have a tougher path to keep my job because I got one more game I could lose every year. They're like, yeah, I kind of wish we stayed at 8 so we could have those 4 out of conference cupcake games so I could powder my record up a little bit.
Yeah. I love the way the coaches have switched around and said, hell no, 24 teams. We need 45 teams. I need to keep my job. They're starting to say, well, I need to be selfish about this. I want to keep a job. I don't want to, if I can make the college playoffs, how are you going to fire me if I make the playoffs?
It's kind of ironic. Like that you got the coaches, and I don't know if every coach feels the same way, but some coaches saying one thing and the conference commissioner saying completely different things here. And
yeah, I would say most coaches are on what's the easier path, for me to keep my job and keep the university, and get to the playoffs. What's the easier way for me to do it? It ain't playing 9 of these. That's for damn sure.
It's for damn sure. Yeah, and it's like bragging about having a tougher path to the college football playoff is weird to me, right? Like Texas, there are some metrics out there that says Texas has the toughest schedule in college football this year. I'm not happy about that.
No.
Like, we got a tougher path to the college football play. Now, Texas would have obviously earned it if they go 10-2 or 11-1, and there's going to be no doubt that they deserve a spot in the 12-team CFP. And obviously, there's some good. You'll be battle tested. So if you get to the playoff, you know that you can beat good teams because you have had to have beaten some really good teams just to get there. But it's like, I don't quite understand that we've got a more physically demanding route. We've got a tougher schedule than anybody else, any other conference in the sport. It's like you're making life harder on yourself, and you didn't really need to do that.
No, you're right.
Like, work smarter, not harder. The SEC is working harder by adding an extra conference game, are they not?
They are.
Okay.
They are. As I said, some coaches, some ADs want to talk about being tough and physical and here's what we're going to do, but I don't wonder deep down inside, it's like, dude, you're crushing your team. You're trying to get to the playoffs. You're crushing your team in the regular season. Guys get hurt. Things start to pile up on you. And then you're mad at your coach at the end and saying, well, hell, if you just won that game, well, if I didn't have that game on my schedule, this is who we would have played,
Right. Yeah. And again, from like a fan perspective, just around the conference, it's cool that there are less cupcake games. You get more big matchups that you're excited to watch on Saturday.
I do have to add that once again, like I've been standing behind the fans on it. That's what the fans want until you don't make the playoffs.
That's the thing. Like last year was Texas. Hell, Vanderbilt was 10-2 last year in the SEC, and they didn't make the college football playoff. So there were 2 teams in this league that feel like they got wronged. Hell, a couple of years ago, there were a few 9-3 teams in the SEC that felt like they got wronged and left out in favor of, teams that had played much weaker schedules that just had a better record because of that. That was, again, when the SEC only played 8 conference games. So you're going to have more of that this year, and you've got that 9th conference game to where somebody's going to finish 9-3, get left out, and they're like, damn, we lost 3 SEC games. If we played 1 less, then we would have lost 2, and we would have been in the field, and we'd have a chance to compete for a national championship. So that's going to happen this year.
Yes, there's always going to be obstacles until we get to 60 teams or whatever.
Well, at that point, it's
everybody's in. Let's just go play.
we lost 5 games. Should we not be in?
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's when it's going to get.
We had a winning record. Why are you leaving us out?
Yeah. Any other time we'd have made a bowl game. We'd have been in Shreveport playing.
Shreveport. God, didn't need that on a Monday.
No, that's
so there you go.
I wouldn't go there either. I wouldn't go there for the SEC.
No. Sankey already announced that next year's events in Nashville. Does that do it for you?
Nashville is beautiful, right? Yes.
I'll probably be there. I was thinking about going this year, and I was like, I don't really want to go to Tampa. That's what it came down to.
You don't want to go to the dog races and see the old folks down in Tampa?
No. My grandparents have passed on. I have none of them living there.
You don't want to see anybody else's grandparents down in Tampa?
I don't want to feel like death, being around death that much. All right, so we'll talk SEC Media Days all week long, obviously. Texas won't go until Thursday. The Longhorns, the final team to be represented Thursday afternoon. Of course, Sark and Arch and Colin Simmons and Trevor Gooseby will be the Longhorn contingent going there. So we'll get to that later this week, and we'll obviously talk about what we want to hear from the Texas crew come Thursday. We'll get back into some Longhorn football conversation. We do have some sound from Steve Sarkisian, who spoke at the Texas High School Coaches Association yesterday. First time we've heard from Sark in a while. So we'll let you hear from the head coach in a bit. But before we do that, how about our first round of sponsor shout-outs?
Folks, if you're seeking that specialized patient-focused orthopedic care, knees, ankles, shoulders, elbows, the whole work, contact the experts and our friends at Texas Orthopedics. Their physicians offer comprehensive surgical and non-surgical orthopedic care for children and adults, rehabilitation, spinal care, sports medicine, joint replacement, rheumatology, and more. Dr. Danny, Dr. Stockton, they are 2 of the dedicated orthopedic surgeons there, and their goal is to get you right back into good health and the great quality of life that you deserve, that you want to have. Folks, Texas Orthopedics is the largest independent orthopedic practice in Central Texas. For more information, please go to txortho.com.
Yes, indeed. Love Texas Orthopedics. Also, shout out to our friends at centextickets.com. Went and saw Shelby last week. The crew at Centex Tickets, they are ready to roll for football season. We're less than 50 days away from the season opener. You want to get your Longhorn football tickets for the Texas State game or for any game, home and away, all season long. Only one place you need to go. That is centextickets.com. And it's not just Texas football. They got you covered with every sporting event, every concert, every comedy show, ACL Music Festival, just a couple of months away. Of course, we'll have Formula One out at COTA in a couple of months as well. So many great happenings coming up in the fall. The best place to find your seats, centextickets.com. Don't forget to use the promo code CENTEX10. You type that in at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of any ticket purchase, whether you're buying 1, whether you're buying 4, 6, 8, whatever. They got you covered. centextickets.com.
No doubt about it. Our good friends over at Woods Comfort Systems, you're going to need it this weekend at air conditioning. We got some temperatures that are going to rise here. You know, as we get to the middle of the week, we're talking about 100, 105, not feels like, but actually those are the temperatures that we're maybe expecting after all the rain that we've had. And boy, the humidity will be up. So you want to make sure your air conditioning is working properly. Woods Comfort Systems, 70 years in Central Texas, folks. They are fabulous when it comes to air conditioning, heating, and trust them, the plumbing. If you had any of the problems with all this rain, you know, flooding in your backyard, your septic going overflow, please call on Woods Comfort Systems. They do plumbing now, so trust that they can do indoor and outdoor plumbing. Woods Comfort Systems, 70 years in Central Texas. Nobody does it better.
70 years. They've been around as long as the Buck has, and that's a long-ass time right there.
Yes, it is.
WoodsComfortSystems.com, 512-842-5066. And how about AV Consultations? We got a new spot here from Tom McKay and the crew at AV Consultations. It's a pretty good one, Buck. You're going to want to pay attention to this. A word from our guy, Tom McKay, over at Audio Visual Consultations.
Scientific data proves it. Size does matter.
Oh.
Hi, this is Tom McKay with Audiovisual Consultations. The bigger and wider your television is, the better it'll please your senses. Summer is here and the time is now to get everything tuned up and ready. New big screen TVs, projection video, indoor and outdoor surround sound, all the goodies at great prices and followed up with great service. So give us a call at 512-255-8678, 512-255-8678, or online at avconsultations.com.
That smooth background music.
How about that? Well, you got Tom starting off the spot saying scientific data proves that size does matter. Then you've got like a woman moaning. Is that what that was?
Scientific data proves it. Size does matter.
Oh.
Hi, this is
That's the kid.
That ain't the kid,
Are you
dude.
sure?
I hope.
You know, she's been off. She's been off to college for a couple years now. Look out.
Oh
She's
my
up there in
God.
Been up there in Beantown.
Tom, you think Tom put his own daughter? I'm not even going to finish that question right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm going to say that's the kid's voice.
Oh my God. And then you've got the
Hey, she's a professional, though. She's an actress. She's a professional. She's a Broadway person. That's her profession.
acting.
Yes.
Okay. I say you had
You
the.
think that dude's going to pay somebody to voice that?
I don't know.
Now, when he's got the kid, when he's got a daughter to make that sound, come
Just-
on, man.
Find a sound effect on YouTube or something to. I don't know how you ask your kid to make that noise and feel good about it. They got the porn music going on in the background too.
Where did he get that music from?
I don't know. That's primo right there. AV consultation. Size matters. Upgrade your home TV setup before the fall with audio visual consultation.
Says we're never winning an award. Yeah, we're going to get that award. Ladies, hey, as much as I've been following the WNBA, you got to be kidding me. How can I not get that award?
Give us a WNBA update. What do you mean? You've been following it a lot? This is news to me.
Yeah, I've been following it a little bit.
Seems legit.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. WNBA's been good.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you really have been following it.
Yeah, I'm not following much of it anymore. It's sort of like soccer. Like I'm not following that anymore now.
You don't have any takes. You don't have any WNBA takes for the people?
No, not really.
Okay.
Nothing that they'd be interested in.
Those people.
People.
We'll get to the soccer later. We both have some thoughts on that World Cup final, but did promise some Steve Sarkisian sound.
Yes.
So let's get into some Steve Sarkisian sound. The head coach of the Texas Longhorns spoke at the Texas High School Coaches Association event in San Antonio yesterday. The event continues through tomorrow, but Sark and all of the college coaches from around the state of Texas were at that event. They all had press conferences. There was a big panel event as well. By the way, guess who Sark was sitting next to for the big panel event with all of the college coaches from around the Lone Star State?
Joey McGuire.
Joey McGuire. And Sark made a joke / comment right off the bat that said, first and foremost, Joey and I are good. We're sitting next to each other. I got a little bit of laughs from
which he didn't really mean. He didn't have to say that. We know that you don't like that dude. Don't even try that. We're not even falling for that.
They're like stepping on each other's feet under the table where no one can see. Yeah, well, that was that. But we'll get to some sound from Steve Sarkisian, who talked about a number of different issues around college football, but also facing the University of Texas, and we'll focus more on that. We'll start with Sark real quick, talking about Cole Hudson. You know, we opened the show talking about Cole Hudson's lawsuit, looking for an extra year of eligibility for the upcoming 2026 season. Here was Sark giving some of his thoughts on Cole Hudson's lawsuit and what it could mean for his Longhorns this year.
Yeah, I think with Cole's situation, obviously we're monitoring it, and I don't know where it's going to go. I think we've all seen over the past few years there's been a lot of lawsuits that have been filed and piggybacking off of other lawsuits, so on and so forth. And Cole's a guy with a lot of experience, played a lot of football for us, and he's a guy that unfortunately didn't get drafted, and so he puts himself in a bit of a different situation than maybe most guys that got done playing their fourth year in college. So we'll see what that looks like and see where it goes.
Yeah, he's saying, in other words, we're not doing anything on our end. He's got to do it all himself.
Yeah, and Texas isn't getting involved here. Sure. Sark's not going to call up his local lawmaker and say, hey, can you rig this in favor of us? There's going to be no payments to any state senators coming from Kevin Eltai for any big money donors at Texas. Texas is staying out of it. Cole Hudson's filing the suit. If it works, Texas would happily have him back, but Sark's got bigger fish to fry as we get closer to
absolutely
the start of the season. Speaking of the offensive line, how about Lawrence Seymour, the transfer from Western Kentucky, who did not get to campus until the summer. Very experienced, playing his 6th year of college football here in 2026. But again, wrapped up his undergraduate degree at Western Kentucky, so was not a part of spring football. We really haven't seen a whole lot from him. Steve Sarkisian and the Texas coaching staff obviously has. Here's Sark talking about how Lawrence Seymour has looked since arriving to the 40 acres.
Lawrence has done really well. I've been impressed with him, and his body has changed already, which is big. Our style of summer conditioning and what that looks like, and I think that he's really responded well to that. And the connectivity with the other offensive linemen and the fundamental work that we get to do. Time will tell. Lineman, it's difficult in the summertime. We're in underwear of what it's really going to look like. We'll find out a lot in training camp, especially kind of when we get into the second week when we're really in full pads and we're getting going. But so far, so good with him.
Well, I hope so. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's interesting with Lawrence Seymour, right? We're talking about a guy who was first team all Conference USA last year. Now, it's Conference USA. That ain't the SEC. It's a guy with a lot of experience. Hell, there were a couple of outlets, including Phil Steele, who had Lawrence Seymour as an All-American last year. So he's done some good things in his college career. But again, you don't know how he's going to make the jump. And I did find it interesting. And maybe I'm listening too much into this. Maybe this is no big deal. I don't know if I love hearing how he had to change his body once he got to Texas. I get it. Every team wants different things when it comes to every position on the field. But the 6-year senior, a guy that you're maybe hoping is a plug-and-play starter at left guard, which was a total disaster in 2025, I was kind of hoping no, his body's fine. He just has to learn the offense, and then he'll be good to go. I don't know if I should be concerned that
I don't need to hear that he needs to be bigger. That's for sure.
He's listed at 6'2", 320 on Western Kentucky's roster last season. So
yeah, he's a guard. That's fine enough. 6'2", 6'3", that's 300-some pounds. That's plenty right there. I don't need to know that I need to – he's not going to get any taller, Coach, so you don't have to worry about that. But strength-wise, I just want to know if he can handle – that's the part that maybe he's changed a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit even stronger. Maybe this – this weight staff has got him just a little bit stronger than when he came in here. Yeah. That's okay because they ain't going to get it. They're not going to put him on a rack. They're not going to stretch him to 6'4". That ain't happening.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. And we're talking about a pretty old guy who's a redshirt senior, again, a 6th-year player. So, yeah, look, he's obviously going to –
Always can get stronger. You can always get stronger.
Yeah, and that's all you can really do right now. It's summer workouts and conditioning. I mean, there's some sort of drills, but you don't have the pads on. And for offensive linemen, you don't really care about what they do until they get the pads on.
The important thing is that you're not going to know what kind of heart that dude has, like you said, until he gets pads on and guys are punching him in the face and running him over at, coming from where he came from. That's when you start to worry, what have we done here,
Right. And I've read that since Lawrence Seymour got here, he's had a very workmanlike approach. He's been all business. Some offensive linemen, and it's the same as any position. You got your chirpers, your trash talkers, your rah-rah guys. Seems like Lawrence Seymour has just kind of been all business since getting here. I mean, he knows the opportunity that he has. He knows it's his last year of college football eligibility. He knows it's once in a lifetime to get to play at the University of Texas. And if he puts his head down and does everything right, he's going to start at the University of Texas. So that's what I've heard is, again, you heard it from Sark. He's done pretty much everything right. But until we get to fall camp and really the second week in fall camp when the pads come on and they start doing more physical stuff, none of us are really going to know exactly what the Longhorns have with him. But that left guard battle is going to be an important one to watch without question. How about Steve Sarkisian talking about another player? How about Jermaine Bishop Jr., the stud freshman who was one of the stars of spring football? I mean, he's been a star since the moment he stepped foot on campus. He was a star in high school, setting all sorts of state records. Jermaine Bishop Jr., we all expect him to play as a freshman. Remember, he was a two-way guy in high school. Put up ridiculous numbers as a wide receiver, but also was a very good defensive back as well at Willis. There were a lot of schools recruiting him to play DB. There's some folks who have compared him to Travis Hunter, who, of course, won a Heisman a couple of years ago as a two-way player. In the spring, Jermaine Bishop was playing all offense, but Steve Sarkisian was asked about Jermaine Bishop, and he dropped an interesting little nugget about Jermaine Bishop in the summer. Take a listen.
This guy loves football. Like everything he does is he works at his craft, and he's excited about it. He brings great energy. He loves the game. He loves competing. He loves practice. He loves working at it. He's got natural leadership ability kind of in that freshman class already. You can feel his leadership, but he's very talented. And in spring, we played him exclusively at wide receiver, and he had a very good, spring for us. And one thing that we talked about in recruiting with him was his ability to play DB as well. So for this summer, he's been working at DB. He's been learning our scheme. He's been learning the fundamentals, the techniques. And then when we go back to fall camp, he'll go back to wide receiver again, with the notion of knowing, hey, if emergency strikes, here's a guy who already knows our scheme, and he can go over there and play on defense. If he can continue to develop, he could be an emergency guy on the defensive side of the ball. But we'll focus with him on offense when we get back. But people don't know this. When we were at Alabama, Devontae Smith was our emergency corner. And he would take the first, scout period. He would go with the defense and Coach Saban and play corner. And then he'd come over and play wide receiver in the second scout period. So, think about that. The year that guy wins the Heisman Trophy, he was practicing on defense part of practice, to just in case, because he was an emergency player. So it's not totally abnormal.
Yeah, I mean, if you got an opportunity to have a guy who can roll right into that and has the kind of athletic ability they think this dude does, you don't have to worry about a freshman or sophomore who still has another year that needs to have that experience. When you got a guy athletically who would be ready to go, I'd keep playing him in both ways a little bit. Every once in a while at practice, he goes and plays some DB.
I was going to ask, does that bother you, worry you? Like, oh, we're taking him away from wide receiver. We need to develop him there? Why are we spending time with him playing somewhere else?
We're not doing fit. We're not splitting this down to half. He's going a quarter of the time. He may go play some DB during the course of a week. He's not spending half his day of practice over there on the D. He's with me on offense. I'm the offensive coach. He spent a lot of time with me. Now, if you need him down there for a segment when my DBs are doing some stuff, when my wide receivers are doing some, quarterback catching drills, okay, he can go down there and play DB. And when that whistle blows, he's coming right back to me.
Yeah, you kind of heard Sark say it, right? Like once we get to the fall, it'll be primarily back to offense again. But man,
but you trust him. You almost trust him more than you do a guy who's just a young guy learning the position that's going to be good in 2 years or a year or so. But this guy has all the athletic ability in the world. If he knows what he's doing, then he's got the physical capabilities of doing it. That's what you need. Two guys could get hurt in a game, and all of a sudden that guy's over there playing cornerback. But it'll take something drastic to happen. It's not if one guy gets hurt. It's just, and things happen.
Right. I was going to ask, like the follow-up to Steve Sarkisian would be, how much of an emergency situation is this? Like how far down the DB depth chart is Jermaine Bishop Jr.? Because, look, Texas has a lot of corners here. They also have a couple of freshman corners that they feel really good about, including Smoke Matthews, who I think has a chance to be a star during his Texas career. So, what would it take? And I doubt Sark would actually answer this question. I don't know if he knows the answer to this question, but what would it take for Jermaine Bishop, who, again, was a star at DB in high school, to actually get in at DB in college?
Well, if you don't know the scheme, you can get beat up no matter how athletic you are. Yeah. If you're in the wrong place when you're not supposed to be there, or you're supposed to be back in, a third of the coverage, and you're up there sitting at the linebacker depth, you get beat that way. It's not getting beat physical, it's mental. So if you can get the mental stuff down and you trust in the kid, but more so than the mental, it's the physical ability to do that stuff. Can you cover? You can go run routes. Can you cover a guy running routes? If he's got that, there's way more than half the battle beat right there. And if you trust him more than you do a guy who you think down the line is going to be a really great DB, but the physical stuff's not there for a year or two, I'll go ahead and give that guy a shot. That's why he's down there a quarter of the time,
Right. Yeah, part of me wonders if this was like a promise that Texas made to Jermaine Bishop. This is a kid that offers from everywhere, and it's like, hey, I want to play both sides, or at least want to practice on both sides. So maybe this is Steve Sarkisian. Like, all right, yeah, we told you we'd play you on some defense. So here you go. We're sticking to our word. Versus he actually would have interest in doing this in a game-like situation. But who knows? And how about Devontae Smith? That was maybe the most fascinating part of the entire bit right there, is that Devontae Smith in 2020, the year he won the Heisman Trophy as a wide receiver at Alabama, of course, Sark, the offensive coordinator there that year, he was the emergency corner in.
Yeah, believe me, that guy wasn't in any tackling drills. That guy would just coverage only.
Yeah, that guy's a stick. I mean, the thing is, so is Jermaine Bishop. Those guys are both sticks.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alabama never used Devontae Smith at corner. We would all know that story. We would have learned about that way before yesterday if he did. But I thought that was pretty fascinating. That the best
when Ricky came to Texas, he was an unbelievable linebacker. Can you imagine that guy tackling high school guys, tackling 145, 150 pound running backs? He was just crushing them. And he said, "Hey, you think I get a chance to play a linebacker here?" And I said, "No, probably not.
Well,
I don't think so." It's just
that's why I asked you about Jermaine Bishop practicing both ways, because I knew you had that story with Ricky, and I know he wanted to play linebacker, and you're like, "No, absolutely not."
Absolutely no. He goes, "I was pretty good." I said, "Yeah, you're a pretty good wrestler too, but you ain't wrestling. There's no wrestling team here, so you ain't gonna be a wrestler either. But you ain't playing linebacker either, so you can forget that."
Yeah.
That lasted for one conversation.
Right.
And that wasn't even one of those, "Well, let me go talk to Makovic." That was one of those, "No, you don't really want me to play." I'm like, "Nope, don't want to see you at linebacker. I want to see you hitting linebackers or running them over, but I don't want to see you putting your shoulder and making tackles."
Yeah, if you want contact, just run over that linebacker. You don't need to be tackling.
I knew how he would practice. I knew he would probably try to kill one of the running backs at a practice. That's what I was worried more. I was more worried about what he was going to do to the guys on the other side too.
Yeah. Well,
the ones that wouldn't believe that he could do that. The ones that didn't think he was good enough to be a starter as a freshman. When you go over there at linebacker and they ran into him, he would kill one of them.
Well, thank you for your service in getting Ricky Williams to Texas, but maybe more so, thank you for your service for preventing him from playing defense at Texas.
Now, could he have been? I'm like, oh yeah, he really
could.
I
mean, a lot of these guys are, were two-way players in high school and elite two-way players in high school. So there's plenty of them that I think you could flip over to the other side of the ball and would have success, but you're trying to maximize.
Oh my goodness.
A guy's skill set.
Maximize my livelihood.
Right. You want him on the field. You obviously knew how good Ricky Williams was as a running back, and we all found out how good he was as a running back. It's like, I don't want to do anything that's going to take him away from that.
No.
He might be a pretty good linebacker, but he ain't a Heisman Trophy winning linebacker. So
no.
Let's keep him on offense, please.
And he played too hard. He played the game too hard. Played the game too hard on the offense, much less what he was going to be like if he had to go and tackle you and what he had to do to get to you.
Yeah. No, they didn't need that. And, I don't think we'll see Jermaine Bishop Jr. playing any corner this year. Again, I think Texas's wide receiver room is, I think, deeper than its cornerback room, but I still think their cornerback room is deep enough to where, okay, even if they do lose a guy or two to injury this year, I think it would take something pretty wild to happen for Jermaine Bishop to get in on defense, and I hope we don't have to see that. No disrespect to him.
How do you play too hard? You knock out one of your guys at practice. You knock out an important guy on the other side of the ball. That's how you play too hard.
Oh, you're talking about practice, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, in the game. If you're in the game, there's no such thing as not playing hard. But at practice,
I've seen guys play not hard. I saw Lionel Messi play not very hard yesterday.
Oh, remember, that's soccer, though.
That's soccer. Yeah, I've seen it in football too. You don't want to see it.
I've seen it in football. I've not seen that particular guy I'm talking about not play hard on his side of the ball.
Right. So there you go.
He would be out there trying to prove it. And he wasn't even trying to prove a point on that side of the ball. He was just doing what he does naturally. If he got on the other side of the ball and he was trying to prove a point to you on what he could do to you, yeah, no thanks.
No. Yeah, you would have lost your job if Ricky Williams got hurt playing linebacker.
Oh, I'd have got hurt. I'd have lose my job because he hurt somebody. The other two guys were that running back too when he hit him. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. All right, more sound here from Steve Sarkisian. We've talked about it a lot. Look, Texas hit the transfer portal hard. You've got more than 40 newcomers on this year's roster, some of them through the portal, some of them obviously through the high school ranks as well. We know how much Steve Sarkisian values culture. We've heard him talk a few different times this offseason about starting culture work earlier in the offseason, right? He self-scouted what went wrong in 2025. He felt like he didn't begin the culture work early enough last year, so he started it, back in January and February here in 2026. Sark was asked at the Texas High School Coaches Association yesterday, is culture harder to build with all of the transfers that you now have on your team? Here was his response to that.
Yeah, no, it's a huge deal. As we've touched on, we've historically done a lot of our culture work in June, July, and August, right, in the summer, because that was the old model, the traditional model, and we made a pretty significant shift on that this year. We started doing a lot of our culture work in February. We gave the guys a couple weeks to get acclimated back on campus, and we started pouring into that earlier and getting, you get 47 new faces on our team and getting them accustomed to and acclimated to the things that are important to us and how we go about our business. But at the same token, I'm going to SEC Media Days on Thursday, and I'm bringing 3 guys that are fantastic football players. They're great players, but all 3 of those guys signed with us out of high school, in Arch Manning, Trevor Gooseby, and Colin Simmons. And so when your best players are guys that we signed out of high school that developed in our program, that believe in what we do, man, they're model citizens for us when it comes to leadership and getting younger players to understand what it takes to be a Longhorn in this day and age. And so we're very fortunate that way, that we've got players in our program that have grown up in our program.
They've grown up before your program. When you recruited them, they were growing up into your program. When you started talking to those kids as juniors and sophomores in high school, they started to know about what your expectations were if they came to Texas. And so that started even before they even got on your campus. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult when you bring another guy from another program in. That transition is not always that smooth. That's different. I'm not saying it's difficult, but it's not as easy as a kid that you knew since he was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Sark with that answer is kind of telling you that he still believes recruiting out of high school is the lifeblood of his program.
Sure.
And I know the transfer portal sexy. Obviously, Steve Sarkisian used it a lot, and I don't think that's a one-off. I think Texas is going to continue to use it to patch up holes on their roster and try to improve in certain places. But he's telling you right there that, that stuff still matters. You want to grow your guys. And, for culture, you want guys who have been here for 3, 4, 5 years, being able to kind of teach the culture to some of the transfers who are coming in just for one season. And you know this better than I do. We've heard guys talk about this all the time. The best locker rooms are player-led locker rooms. So You want guys who have been in your program, who know what's expected of them, who were taught by older players who are now no longer there. You want those guys setting the tone for the newcomers, whether they're freshmen, whether they're transfers, whatever. So, everyone's going to talk about Cam Coleman and Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers, Raheem Biles. There's a lot of great transfers. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about them, but a lot of the best players on this Texas football team were guys who were recruited out of high school by Texas, signed with Texas, and who have developed into star players by this coaching staff at Texas.
Yeah, and and every coach is different with their players and how they talk to their players. So, and most, guys that come into transfer portal, they're not really young guys. They're guys who have some experience and have some life experiences. So you have to have, your staff has to be mature enough to understand what those aren't high school kids that you're talking to coming from another school. So you can't treat them like they're some, 18, 19-year-old kid coming out of high school, and you're going to talk to them. That means some of those guys are mature dudes. Some of those guys have been in college 2 or 3 years. Yeah. So you're not talking to some kid. So that's why it's important that your staff understands what they're doing too. And he's got an older staff. He's got a staff that's been with him. He doesn't have a lot of different, guys coming in. And then he's got older guys that have been at places that are mature coaches. I'm not saying it's a young guy is not any good. I'm just saying it's nice to have a couple of mature guys that have been in other places that understand older players too. Right. So that's not easy whatsoever. And we're talking about staggering numbers now. We're not talking about 3 or 4 kids that come into your program. We're talking about places that turn over their damn whole program.
Well, again, Texas has 40+ newcomers, but there are some schools out there that have 40+ transfers only. Like, forget the high school guys.
I know. I mean, that's got to be crazy. I mean, you've got to know your business, and you got to know how to. And players they're not all treated the same. That doesn't work that way. They're not all treated the same, and you got to know who you can treat one way and who you got to treat the other way, or you start losing guys start talking behind your back as a coach. Like I said, your individual coaches have to be very good at what they do. That's why I'm just amazed at how he does this in June and how important June and July have been to this program, and how they must sit around and talk about, here's how we're going to talk. This is how we're going to present certain things. I mean, those guys, you go in meetings, as I said, I've been in more meetings over nothing that some people would think, really, you're going to talk about how we're going to handle this certain kid over the weekend. Here's what we're not going to say around him. Here's what we don't want to say around his parents. I mean, a coach has to be able to say that to a bunch of other coaches. You may be the guy who's recruiting the player, but you got to let other coaches know, the position coach know, don't say this around his mom. Don't say this around his brother or his dad. Keep this out of the conversation. It's like, wait a minute, you can't just be a normal person. No, you can't be just a normal person around them. You have to watch everything you say.
Yeah, make them say yes. I mean, you're recruiting these blue chip talents. Right. You want them to choose you. So whatever you have to say or do for them to ultimately sign the dotted line. And
the difference than going out recruiting a guy for your business.
Yeah, it's no different than recruiting a girl at a bar.
There you go.
You can't have the same lines. You can't spit the same game to every single one. You got to mix it up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you have to know, you have to tell, and you have to relay that to somebody else that's going to be spending time with that person. Even though you're the recruiter, the other guy that coaches that position, you got to let him know what to say and what not to say. Coaches got all that information all down.
Well, they have recruiting staffs too, and support staffs that are much bigger and more comprehensive than what you had when you were coaching. And also, with the internet and social media, like, it's easier to get some information on these kids than it probably was back in the day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, again, they clearly care about high school recruiting still. I was like, again, with Texas brought in the 8th ranked recruiting class last year, which was lower than they've had any year under Steve Sarkisian. And they hit the transfer portal harder than they had in any year under Steve Sarkisian. So I was a little curious, like, are they going to maybe take the foot off the gas a little bit with high school recruiting? And then here they are right now, a top 4 class in the country. They're still going after some big names out there. So he still really values recruiting. They still put a lot of time and energy into that. And they're looking for, obviously, talented players, but they're also looking for talented kids. And that's something you and I have talked about a lot. Compared to previous coaching staffs at Texas and compared to coaching staffs all over the country, there haven't been a whole lot of off-the-field issues at Texas.
Right.
There's been some, of course, like that's going to happen, but
there are some that we don't ever even hear about.
Some that we 100%. But in today's social media, when everyone's got a camera, everyone's filming and whatever, that they've done a good job. I think part of it's the type of kids that they are recruiting, of staying out of a lot of off-the-field trouble, which is obviously a good thing.
And that's hard to do with a bunch of young guys when you got so many of them. It's not easy. It's not easy to keep everybody under your wraps. I mean, everybody has their own individuality that they think that should become, I'm a college student, I need to be like all the rest. No, you're not like the rest of the college students. Sorry. You may want to be, you want to may want to do those things, but you can't.
Yeah, if I got a DUI in college, my parents would have been pissed. That's about it. If Arch Manning got a DUI in college, bigger story. Everyone's pissed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, it's different. It really is. By the way, I saw another Arch Manning poster. It's very close to me.
They're all over the place. You made it sound like that Arch Manning cutout is like a once in a lifetime deal. Those things are at like every gas station in Central Texas.
I know.
And you still haven't gotten one.
I know. Let's not. I'm working on it. I just saw one yesterday at one of my locals. So I don't have to.
Have we confirmed that it's Red Bull that he is?
It was Red Bull. I saw the Red Bull by his feet there.
We try to trust our audience, and then they tell us it's Panini, and it's not Panini.
It's not. It's Red Bull. It's Red Bull. I saw the Red Bull, all the little Red Bull cans there. So I will be offering up some cash to somebody
I wonder.
And
I got to text our guy Ashish at 7-Eleven. Maybe
you can order those.
maybe he can order one for you.
Now you're talking.
You want that life-size cardboard cutout of Arch Manning to hang out next to your little tiny Derek Jeter figurine.
Yes, I need that. I need that in the room so I could talk to it during the course of the day.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of real friends, so you got to have the imaginary friends out there, huh?
Yeah, plus that'd be kind of cool to get him to sign one of those.
What do you-
Life-size cut up. And no, he's not in uni. I thought he was in uni. He's not in uni.
Not in uni. No.
No helmet. That's just his face and the whole works.
How do you get him to sign that? Are you going to like bring it to a press conference, or are you going to invite him over to your
find out where it
place?
is on campus where his next class is and walk through campus with that in my hand with a Sharpie.
Hey, you got to get a new college intern who's a UT student and just be like, "Hey, this is your job. You're not getting paid unless you get Arch Manning to sign this."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fanatics would like to have that first signature, that life-size deal of him. Put that out there.
Yeah, how much would that sell for? A signed cardboard
Life-size
cutout? Yeah, life size of Arch Manning. Like how much? You could put that on eBay. You don't need to go to somewhere else. You can put it on eBay yourself. How much could you make?
Yeah, I guarantee you he's got a couple of those signed ones. I get the house.
Arch does?
Yeah, I'll be down here to see my local grocery store guy here.
Okay.
My local corner store.
You got to make that happen. You got that nice area over your right shoulder that's just waiting for.
Just wait for his face. I don't know what you got to do. The thing is like it's life size. So do I have to cut it and sit him down on a chair or something beside me?
I hope not. I feel like it loses a lot of the value if you cut it in half.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How do I do that? How am I going to do it?
What do you mean? It stands up. Doesn't it stand up at 7-Eleven?
Yeah, but from here,
you got low ceiling.
Oh, it's a low ceiling here. This thing it would hit sideways here. I'd have to put up the computer up here. You know, I can't be messing around with the computer.
No, it's a miracle that you can open and close your laptop every day. We don't want to ask you to do anything beyond that.
No, let's not do that.
That could be scary. All right, well, we got to get you one of those. I'll text our guy. I'll text our people and see if we can.
Let's get our people going here.
Make it happen. It'd be a lot cooler of a story though if you stole one versus like us having an inside track to.
That's true.
One of those. We'll get to more sound from Sark later in the show. We will talk more SEC Media Days later in the show. We got to get to the World Cup and a little British Open, but before we dive into those stories from the weekend, how about we dive into a few more sponsored shout-outs?
Speaking of getting some food in me yesterday, how about a Hat Creek burger? I got one of those in me yesterday, chewing it on one side. I had bread and all, onions, the whole works. I was thinking, am I going to be able to do this? Well, I did it yesterday with some of those great fries. And Hat Creek Burger Company since 2008, serving burgers, fries, and shakes. I've been crushing the shakes, BK. I have been into the shakes and the protein shakes and the juice lands and everything else. But I went to Hat Creek and had the whole works yesterday. Hat Creek Burger. It's a place with good food, good folks, and a whole lot of fun there. Hat Creek Burger is proud to be a place where you can come in hungry and you're going to leave full. That's for sure. I did yesterday because I had double cheese. How about double meat, double cheese yesterday? Large fry, strawberry shake, whipped cream, and a cherry. They said it couldn't be done. I did it. That's it.
Who said it couldn't be done?
Me. I was the only one who said it couldn't be done. But I was so dadgum hungry from doing all these shakes. Boy, I love Hat Creek Burger. Man, folks, they've got all kinds of and the playground was packed yesterday.
Nice.
Playground was packed. It was before World Cup started. So all the little soccer buffs went out there messing around on the playground. They got a great playscape there. Plus, they've got a great happy hour for parents and adults at most of their locations. Hat Creek Burger Company, there's something for everyone there.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Rob, who said he went to Hat Creek after the World Cup yesterday. If you haven't tried the Pretzel Jack, have you tried the Pretzel Jack at Hat Creek, Buck?
Well, that was not for me yesterday. I can't be jamming pretzels into my mouth.
It's not. It's a pretzel bun. It's not pretzels.
I know, but it's a little harder than the regular bun.
All right, that's fair. Well, it's very good. Highly recommend. That's what I got last time I was there. The Pretzel Jack. Give that a go at Hat Creek. Shout out to them. Also, a shout out to our friends at the Altstadt Brewery, the best brewery in the great state of Texas. Not just my word. It's actually been voted best brewery in the state multiple times. this year, including over the weekend, the Altstadt Brewery taking home another award for Best Brewery in the Lone Star State. And their beer is fantastic. Tons of different brews, something for every beer drinker out there. They've got the classics, the German-style lager, the German-style Kolsch. They've got the light beer. They've got the Hefeweizen. They've got a great Pilsner. They've got their summer seasonal peach radler. It is ridiculous. And all of their brews are brewed without any additives, any unnecessary filler ingredients, any sugars. You can taste the difference. You can also feel the difference the next day. Trust me on that. And yes, the U.S. Open Beer Championship taking place recently. Altstadt named Brewery of the Year. They also took home gold medals for their lager, their Kolsch, and their peach radler. This is award-winning stuff, people. Not just some guy on a radio show and a podcast telling you how good this is. People who get paid to drink beer for a living, what a job that must be, heaping the greatness upon Altstadt Beer. Go get you some the next time you're at any grocery store or liquor store, bar or restaurant. You deserve the best, and the best is Altstadt Beer. No impurities, no regrets.
And our good friends over at Relax the Back, they embrace a holistic approach for a healthier lifestyle. My back couldn't be happier because I've been in this bad boy for hours this weekend. Stayed away from the big taco, sat in my chair. I love this Relax the Back chair. And folks, they've got zero gravity recliners, Tempur-Pedic pillows, mattresses, human scale office chairs, desks, accessories. Check out the accessories they have. Don't wait for your back to start hurting before you start taking care of your shoulders and your neck, your lumbar area, your thoracic area. Don't wait till it starts to hurt. Get over to Relax the Back and find something that's going to fit you. If you spend a lot of time looking at your computer and sitting down, you want to have a chair that works for your back and your shoulders. You can find that at Relax the Back, folks. 2 locations. One is in the Hill Country Galleria across from Whole Foods, and in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center, right across the street from the Container Store. Live pain-free like the Buck at Relax the Back.
Yes, indeed. Love my Relax the Back chair. And also shout out to our friends at McCall Custom Homes, custom home builders, custom remodelers here in Central Texas. And they are the very best at what they do. It's a father-son team with more than 4 decades of combined experience here in Central Texas. They started here. They've stayed here. Mike was born here. He's a unicorn, one of those OG Austinites. These guys know what it takes to turn a Central Texas home into something truly special. And if you want to build your custom home from scratch, we talk about the remodeling a lot, but you want to build your dream home, these are the guys to call. They are the very best at what they do. Fully licensed, fully insured, A+ rated by the BBB, top quality at affordable prices. Everything you're looking for with a custom home builder. And McCall Custom Homes, they check all of the boxes. Go to their website, McCallCustomHomesATX.com. They're offering free estimates to listeners of this show. Of course, take advantage of that and reach out to our guy, Mike McCall, directly, 512-633-9580. It's McCall Custom Homes. We build value into your home. All right, let's talk some World Cup, Buck. The World Cup is over. The final took place yesterday at New York, New Jersey Stadium. And Spain, for the second time in their nation's history, has won the Men's World Cup. They take down the defending champs, Argentina, 1-0 the final score in extra time. This was scoreless through 90. The lone goal came in the 106th minute. Substitute Ferran Torres came through for the Spaniards after Argentina had picked up a red card in stoppage time, so they were playing a man down. Spain was pretty much threatening the entire match. I mean, this was pure dominance from the opening kick. Spain ended with 20 shots. Argentina had 2, and none of them were on goal. This was, again, utter dominance from the Spaniards for 120 minutes, and Spain hoists the trophy, Buck.
Yeah, there was utter boredom for me watching that crap yesterday. It really, really was. That was I would say the United States did a fantastic job of pushing the envelope and getting this country more interested in soccer. But that's good. Let it go away again until the next 4 years, so we can get pumped up again. Because that yesterday was not great soccer. That was great defense. But Spain's been playing great defense forever. They only gave up 1 goal through the whole tournament the entire time. Yeah. And boy, they played it yesterday. But that was, I thought Argentina was trying to do the same. I can't watch 2 defensive teams. I watched England score a goal and then sit back and just back up the entire time last week. When they lost their match, which was dumb, they score first and then they sit on their heels for the next, 75 minutes. It was like, wow. And I saw that. I thought I saw that with Argentina. They've got too many talented players not to be more offensive. I don't know why they were sitting back. Were they just waiting to get to penalty kicks? I mean, wait to get to that silly thing, that the goal thing at the end. Hey, make those dudes play another 30 minutes, if they have to. Don't go into these.
I didn't want to watch another 30 minutes of that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was.
I wish that game ended after 90 minutes. That was brutal to have to sit through another half hour of that. That was awful, man.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And I know like soccer diehards can find beauty in a game like that, but that was so boring, dude.
Yeah, me and
Argentina didn't have a shot on goal, and their first shot came in the 117th minute.
We can go out in front, and my grass is nice and green right now. The sprinkler was on this morning. We can get a soccer ball, and we can get 3 guys to kick it over to each other, and then kick it back to the goalie. It's no thanks.
I'm not accusing anybody here, but Argentina was so bad yesterday, it felt like they were throwing the game. It felt like they didn't want to win. And again, Spain deserves a lot of credit with their defense, but just the lack of anything that Argentina was able to get going was, and even when they had 11 men, obviously when they were down to 10,
right,
in stoppage time and for all the extra time, at that point, they were praying for penalties because they knew they weren't going to score because they couldn't get anything going when it was 11 on 11. But it was like I'm trying to poke Argentina with the stick, like, do something. Are you awake? Are you alive? Can we fight? Can we try something?
I watched them in the game before. They were so aggressive. They were getting after it.
Right.
They were sending people on the offensive end. There was fast breaking going on. This one was just, what were you doing?
And it was, we were all waiting for Argentina to turn it on. Remember, they've been so great late in matches, right? They've been the comeback kids, and it's like they've kind of been lollygagging for the first 60, 70, 80 minutes of some matches, and then boom, towards the end, they just turn it on. And I was like, all right, at some point, Argentina is going to get things going here. They just never did.
No.
Again, Spain deserves a lot of credit, deserve a lot of credit for. Can we stop talking like idiots, please? Spain deserve. Spain have. No, singular. Spain deserves. Spain, I'm tired of that bit. I'm glad that's over. Spain deserves a lot of credit for that, but that was boring, man. That was really, really boring. It was a great tournament. It was a great World Cup. So many spectacular. How about the third place match on Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was going to suck. I was telling people on Friday, like, this isn't going to matter. Nobody cares about that. That was awesome. 6-4. And then yesterday, just maybe the worst game of the entire tournament. That was brutal.
It's the worst game I watched. I know that.
Yeah, just brutal.
But like I said, I was very disappointed in England because I was rooting for England in their match. But dude, once they scored, I'm like, okay, now you got momentum. Here we go. They started backing up. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing backing up?
Oh, this was the semi against Argentina?
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Argentina just kept coming wave after wave. I mean, and if these goalkeepers aren't making saves and all you're doing is playing, you're playing defense, you put all the pressure on the guy back there in net, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, England's coach has been hearing it from the English fans. I mean, they are ticked. Yeah, they parked the bus a little too early, and it turned into a disaster. Argentina with that comeback. So yeah, no, England and France both obviously disappointed because you felt like those two teams had a legit shot to win this thing. And I mean, Spain was the best team. They outclassed France in the semifinal. There was no controversy or debate who was the better team there. They won 2-0, and it would have been awful for the sport if Argentina won yesterday. Like if it went to PKs and Argentina won, that would have been a joke. And soccer fans would have been like, well, you got to score. Like it would have been a joke if they won yesterday. So I think everybody outside of Argentina was like, thank God Spain actually scored here. They're clearly the better team here. They've earned this win, and they got it done in the 106th minute. But yeah, look, Argentina's goalie was great. Give him credit. Spain could have scored 3 or 4. Was stood on his head to make that interesting. But that was, you know what I can compare that to the football we like here? It was Super Bowl 53 when the Patriots beat the Rams in the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever. It's 13-3 the final score, but there wasn't a touchdown until late in the fourth quarter there. Like, it was boring as hell. Somebody had to win. It's a huge game, so you're going to watch and you care, but it was boring as hell. People call that like the worst Super Bowl ever. People were calling that yesterday like the worst World Cup final ever because
and they were trying their best to make it so that wasn't it a thing of beauty? Wasn't that artistry? I'm like, not really.
no, it was bad.
No.
Even some soccer fans who like will defend their sport till they die are like, that wasn't great. So it's a bummer. Again, the whole tournament was awesome. I wish it ended with a bang. We got spoiled with the final 4 years ago between Argentina and France. That game had everything. Figured we weren't going to get something that good this time around, but I was hoping it was going to be a little more entertaining than yesterday.
Well, what do you think? Will Messi show up for the games in Argentina in 30? Do you think I know he'll show up for the game. I mean, will he actually participate in the game? Boy, that
was a rough end for Messi. And
well, I mean, he can run around just like he did yesterday because he didn't do very much.
Right,
he walked around.
Right. Not all his fault. I mean, we know his role, and if his team doesn't have the ball, then it's hard for him to do what he does.
Yeah, the other dudes can actually go get the ball.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if Messi wants to end like that. You know, that's a tough way to go out. It was a rough day for him. Obviously, a rough day for the entire squad. The way he played in the entire tournament makes me think that if he wants to play, I know it's 4 years from now, it's impossible to predict what he's going to look like, but I think there's more gas left in the tank. I don't know if he'd be dominating at the age of 43 the way he dominated this year, but I don't think anyone expected him to dominate at 39 the way that he just did.
No, they didn't.
So I wouldn't bet against him. He hasn't made a decision yet. He hasn't announced anything yet, at least.
But he's going to still get that MLS money, though, isn't he? He's still playing for that.
Yeah, like the MLS second half of their season gets going here shortly, so Messi will be back. If you want to watch him play, you still can in the States. I wouldn't bet against him playing. He was very emotional. He was crying. Again, you can be emotional after losing the World Cup and still come back for the next one. There are obviously some folks saying, oh, he's so emotional because that's it for him. I don't know. We'll all find out.
He could have been emotional because he knows his team sucked.
Right. Right. That they did. There's no debate about that.
Yeah. I said we can back off a little bit and then wait 4 years and we can get excited the year before. Now the women play, I think theirs is in Brazil starting next year.
Yeah, you're not going to care about that. We got the Women's World Cup next year.
Yeah, we always win that. I do care about that.
Well, we didn't win it last time.
No, we did not.
Spain won the women's too. They're the first nation.
That's right, women's and men's.
Yeah, first nation to ever hold both titles at the same time. So there's no debate about who the best soccer country in the world is right now. But yeah, Team USA is the Vegas favorite. Way too early. The Women's World Cup not till next year, but yeah, we'll have that. And then obviously 4 years in Spain and Portugal, they will host the next Men's World Cup, where Team USA will assuredly get out of the group stage and lose in the round of 16 once again. Let's go ahead and break the spoiler alert for you right now.
There you go.
We know
how'd you like the halftime?
I was about to ask you.
I did. I liked it. I was okay.
There was a lot going on.
It was 10, it was 10 extra minutes for the guys, but I don't care about those guys. Go get another, instead of having your drink break in the middle of the game, getting your juicy juices and your bananas, your orange slices. Now you can have a little longer halftime. It was okay. It was all right. Madonna didn't do anything for me, but she never has really. So
this was kind of cool for me. I'm sure they announced the performers before the show started, but I didn't know who was performing. I didn't even know there was a halftime show, to be honest with you. So everything there caught me off guard. At the Super Bowl, that's like the biggest halftime show that we have every single year. We all know months in advance who's performing.
Right.
It was kind of cool to me, like, oh, shoot, they got Madonna. Oh, there's Justin Bieber. Oh, there's Shakira. Oh, it was just like one after another, these global icons. I thought it was great. I don't know why the Muppets were out there so much, or do we need them?
They're global icons too.
Still?
I think so.
I mean, I guess, you're as big as the Muppets. You don't ever go away, but are they
the
popular
Beatles,
now?
They don't really go away.
Are they popular now?
I don't think so.
They got a new movie coming out.
There's some other little crazy, There's got to be something else more than just what the Muppets do. I mean, Jellycats, are they more, Jellycats are more popular than the Muppets.
Well, Jellycats don't like talk or dance and stuff.
Oh, that's right. The Muppets do. They dance and they talk and they play instruments.
So I don't know what a bunch of like stuffed animals would have done out there for anybody. Just sitting there hanging.
What are the Muppets? What aren't they stuffed with like hands and stuff, fingers and things like that?
I don't think they're finger puppets.
I
I don't know. They look like they were drumming themselves. There's no one controlling those. It's the real things. I actually don't know how any of that worked.
Are there real people inside of those things?
I don't know. They're too small for that.
I think there may have been life-size yesterday, though. The little dude playing the
Kermit
drums.
the Frog? There was not a life-size Kermit the Frog there. It was the normal Kermit.
Are you sure? But the guy playing the drums looked like a life-size dude in a little costume, I believe.
No, they were all normal Muppet size.
Are you sure they were normal? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure the curtain came down and you didn't see them get away from the drums and walk away.
It's a very, very pixelated picture. You see Kermit there at like 6 inches tall. Not a real person in there. Yeah, pre-filmed and voiced over. That's probably what was going on there.
I see Miss Piggy sitting up there on the piano.
Yeah, you're very attracted to her, I've heard.
Would be my first Miss Piggy.
You like the pigs. That's what they say. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like went on for a long time. What'd you think of the Ted Lasso bit? Where he introduced Justin Bieber. And then Bieber playing a super slow song I thought was dumb. Bieber's awesome. He's a global icon, one of the biggest pop stars in the world right now. It's like,
now,
that's great.
Was that his song?
Yeah, it was his song. It's just like, why it's so slow, and it totally killed the mood of the guy's got enough good upbeat songs to keep the crowd going. I thought they chose a poor song for him.
Well, I thought maybe that was the mood at the halftime because of the way the game was going. I thought there was it worked perfectly with what was going on. I kind of like him strumming that guitar, walking around.
Yeah, and it was cool to see Ronaldo, the OG Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho out there with Madonna. Ronaldinho's put on a few LBs since his
of course he has.
Over. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I don't know. Thought it was fun. Again, I didn't know it was happening. So it was just to watch this. I was at a bar yesterday watching with a couple of buddies, drinking some Altstadt, just to watch this. And it was just like one after another, like, oh, crap. Like, kind of cool. But I don't know. People who were there apparently hated it. It's hard to hear, hard to see. There's a lot going on. It's a made-for-TV event. Thought it was fun. Yeah. More entertaining than the game.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I mean, my God. So there you go. Those are our thoughts on the World Cup. It's over. We don't have to pretend to care.
We'll see in a couple of years.
We don't have to pretend to care about soccer anymore. We got real football getting started in
yes, indeed.
47 days. By the way, Austin FC does pick up its MLS season 2 days from now. So for those of you,
we'll have to keep on see if they got a shot at it getting into the play. Oh, then again, everybody gets in the playoffs, don't they?
Right. Well, Austin FC is not very close to a playoff spot. There's still plenty of time left, but remember they fired their coach and their sporting director already. So we'll see if they can get hot. But they have been one of the worst teams in Major League Soccer this year.
Still filling up the stadium, though.
They always do. Q2 is always a good time. CentexTickets.com. Tickets may be a little cheaper this year because they're not very good. So you can go catch a match there for sure. Okay. The other big sporting event internationally this weekend, the British Open. How about Ryan Fox, the 39-year-old New Zealander, taking home the claret jug in pretty dramatic fashion with a birdie on 18, which, by the way, 18 was the toughest hole on the course all week long. It was a miracle when guys were parring 18. Nobody was birdieing 18. And with all that pressure, tied with Cam Young, a perfect drive. His approach from 175 yards out, I mean, talk about the shot of a life, gets it to within 12 feet. Still has to make a not gimme, 12-foot putt, buries it. Ryan Fox getting it done. What a moment for him.
Yeah, that dude plays like a regular old club pro. He just gets out there, looks over the ball, hits it, putts it quick. He looks like a guy who's got other places to go.
You're right.
Like his wife called and said, "How many more holes do you have to play?"
When are you coming home? You said it'd be 4 hours. What's the deal?
Yeah, you told me you were going to be back here in a couple hours, and you're still out there. You need to be playing quicker.
He plays so fast. You're right.
Yeah, he goes.
And maybe that helps. Like, obviously, huge moments, the heart's beating out of your chest. You're one hole away from winning your first ever major, and you never know if you're going to get a chance like this again. And he just plays so fast. He didn't give himself time to stress over anything.
No.
Barely reading putts. He looks at it one time, gets over the ball, takes a quick breath, goes.
Yeah, he's not laying on the ground and plumb bobbing and plumb digging or whatever. He just goes.
Meanwhile, you got dudes at the Muni who were spending 5 minutes in between shots. Like I play decently slow, but compared to some of these guys out there, they're taking 6 practice cuts. And they're, like you said, they're like laying on the green to try to get a read. It's like, dude, it's Mo Willie. It's just going to happen. The ball's just going to go somewhere. You ain't reading this.
No. Yeah. By the way, you're not making that putt. So go ahead and lag it up there and still be 8 feet away from it and enjoy the 8-foot next putt.
Yeah, exactly. So Ryan Fox making fast players around the world happy and sending a message like, yeah, you don't need to take forever before every shot. Just get up there and hit the ball. You know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you've been doing it forever. You've been playing the game forever now.
Yeah, I was so impressed by. He caught some bad breaks on the back nine yesterday. Just bad bounces that didn't go his way. And for a lot of guys, that would derail a round. And he stayed the course. He was unfazed. He set some records, too. He was tied for 85th after his first round. No one has ever won a major when coming from that far back. He was tied for 52nd after the second round. No one has ever won a major for being that far back going into the weekend. He was 8 shots back going into Saturday.
Did that make you want to go play links golf? Did that make you want to just go across the pond and play a little golf?
Well, I'm glad we had some drama because there was no weather. I mean, there was wind, but there was no rain. There was no what you usually get with the British Open. So we saw some better scores than we typically see out there. But yeah, some of those shots out of the rough and some of those bunkers, like, no, thank you.
No.
I don't really want to go to England ever for anything, but I sure as hell don't want to do it to play that kind of golf. I'm good.
I just want to give me some sunshine.
Yeah, but we saw 362s to talk about how easy the course was. 3 guys tied a major record for lowest round, including Ryan Fox, who had that on Saturday. That's obviously what got him back into contention. 3 guys in one major shooting a 62. I don't think that's what golf was really looking for.
No, Scheffler ended up 4th, right?
Yeah, and he made a run. He got off to a great start. Back-to-back birdies to open his round and 3 birdies in the first 5 and got to 8 under at one point. I believe he was within 1 shot of the lead, but had a bogey, couple of bogeys in the back 9. Part of it was he was just playing super aggressive to try to score. And obviously some of the other guys were just too good. So, yeah, Scotty Scheffler, again, the flat stick failed him. He was the best tee to green all weekend long of anybody in the field. And we know how it works. When Scotty's putting at a really good level, it's when he wins these majors, and he can win them pretty easily. When he's not putting well, he could still be in contention, but that's the difference between him winning and losing.
The winner got $3.4 million.
That's it?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Feels pretty low for a major these days. Yeah, $3.2 million for Ryan Fox. That'll work.
That'll work. That's a nice 4 days of work right there.
No kidding. And Sam Burns, he was so close, came up short. You feel for him. It's the second time in a major he's gone into Sunday with the lead. He wasn't that bad, just not good enough. Siwoo Kim had the lead at the turn. He kind of fell apart down the stretch. Hey, I think yesterday's drama saved the tournament. Again, it was just not what you're used to seeing for the British Open, but it was pretty spectacular to watch the last 3 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
you feel for Cam Young because that guy had to wait for like 2.5 hours thinking he was going to either win or make it to a playoff. And instead he just loses and has to go home.
He just has to watch the putt and then go home.
But he also got 1.8 mil for finishing solo second. So I think he's okay with that weight. I have a proposed rule change for golf that I'd like to get your thoughts on. It'll never happen, but I think it should happen. I think leaders should get to pick their Sunday tee times. Because the only reason why Cam Young was in contention yesterday, and this was the case pretty much all weekend, the weather was way better earlier in the day than it was later in the day. Like the wind was picking up as the days were going along. So like all the guys who shot 62, they did it because they started their round super early in the morning. Cam Young started his round pretty early yesterday. He took advantage of the weather and shot a 64 and put himself in the mix. I think your reward for going into Sunday with the lead is you have to pick, or you get to pick, when you tee off the following day.
The problem, what you need to do is then you're going to have to hire a weatherer like myself to take with you. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Like it's not necessarily an advantage. Maybe you think the weather's going to be one thing and it's not. We know how unpredictable the weather is. So it's not like, guaranteed to help you out. There's like more pressure. You have to make the decision as a golfer. If you get it wrong and the weather ends up screwing you up, that's on you. That blames you.
So at the end of the round on Saturday, when you go in with your scorecard, you have to let them know what time you
get the first choice. The leaders get the first choice, and then everybody else has to pick around that. And it'll never happen because the TV, you want the drama at the end of the tournament. Right. So again, I know it's never going to happen, and the PGA Tour cares about their tradition and rules more than anything else. Just ask Bryson DeChambeau about all of that. So it's never going to happen, but that would be a cool, exciting element to golf, and it would also prevent – it's not like the only time this has ever happened in a major was yesterday. There are times where guys who are nowhere close just take advantage of the weather being better in the morning, and they get to play back into contention when if they were teeing off with the leaders, there's no way they'd be posting scores like they posted.
Well, tell Bryson, hey, listen, if my guys are in the weeds like that, they don't just get a better lie. That ball comes out of those weeds like it was on a tee. They actually put a tee underneath it. It doesn't just, you don't have to worry about anything grabbing the shaft or any of that, or the ball barely moving. They move it and set it on the tee so it comes out like it. No. I mean, I've seen your
guys. I've played around with the Texas cheaters. Your guys will pick up the ball and throw it into the fairway.
Have you ever seen guys are directly behind a tree? Not one time you look and the ball's right there directly behind the tree. The next time you look over and the guy's got a full swing. I'm like, how do you have a full swing at the green from there?
Oh, well, yeah. It's always like the guy's searching for his ball for 5 minutes, and then he's like, found it, and it's in the middle of the fairway. It's like, no, you wouldn't have been looking if it was there the whole time. What did you do?
Oh, I love it when the one guy says, oh, I saw it splash in the water, and then another guy goes over, oh, here it is. I'm like, wait a minute. The guy who just saw you swing and said it splashed in the water, now you go over to it, and you found it. It's not actually in the water. What is wrong with that guy?
Yeah, well, weren't you playing a Titleist? That's a Callaway.
I love when they said, oh, it's white. Just find something white, and then we'll play from there.
Yeah. Any strong thoughts on the DeChambeau situation? What was that, Friday, where he got the two-stroke penalty?
I mean, you got to know when you get an advantage. I mean, that sport is tell on yourself. Or if you don't tell on yourself, let's just move right along. I think guys have to be more accountable to the game. That's all. And if you're not,
you thought the penalty was warranted.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was.
Okay, I didn't, but
just go ahead and tell on yourself. And once again, these are guys they didn't just start playing the game. They knew what the traditions of golf is. They know when a ball moves and when you can make a better lie for yourself. When you put the club behind the ball. And if it slightly moves, you've made your way. It made it a little bit better. It's all right to tell. It's all right to tell on yourself and get a penalty.
Yeah, but very few people actually do that.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I put the ball, I love the game. If I put the ball behind, we play with guys that we don't play off the rocks. If a ball goes into the water, that's fine. But if a ball is in, a dry bed and there's stones, I'm saying we move the ball onto a spot. I'm not that. It's not that important for me to wreck a club.
Right. Well, yeah, and you're playing for like $5.
Yeah.
This is a major golf. Guys aren't going to like voluntarily be like, oh yeah, give me a 2-stroke penalty, please.
Yeah, my guys, they should be giving themselves penalties for a $5 game.
Yeah,
but they won't do that.
I'll just say this with the DeChambeau thing. I'm kind of glad. Like, I'm not a DeChambeau hater or anything. He's not my favorite, but I'm not one of those. Like, I'm not Rory McIlroy. That's another conversation for another day. I'm kind of glad DeChambeau fell out of contention yesterday because, like, if he lost by a stroke or if he lost by 2 strokes, obviously that'd be the biggest storyline here on a Monday is like he just got screwed. I really that cost him the major, but because he ended up 6 shots back, it didn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah, and Scheffler coming to his defense said, I've been playing golf with this guy. He's not a cheater. He doesn't do that. He respects the game enough.
Yeah. Yep. The live golfers, they hate. So they got to put if Rory grounded his club in the bunker on Thursday and there was no penalty for that. If Rory or Fleetwood or one of the local guys, hell, maybe even Scotty, it might not just have to be an Englishman. Like one of the more popular players who's on the PGA Tour, if he did the exact same thing, I guarantee you there's no punishment going.
No.
Because it's Bryson, maybe it's Liv, or just because it's Bryson and he's him, 2-stroke penalty. Got to call it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you need to just, if you just trust in the guys. I mean, like you said, but certain guys aren't to be. What would Patty Reed do?
Patty Reed would have kicked the ball and said he didn't touch it.
He'd have kicked it to the fairway.
Wyndham Clark would have done the same thing. There are guys who have done a lot more egregious stuff than Bryson did. But again, thankfully in the grand scheme, didn't matter all that much. All right, we'll take your thoughts. There's the World Cup. There's your golf. We are really in the dog days of summer now. God, media days.
Hey, the Yankees got to split with the Dodgers.
Congrats on that. Oh, you're bragging about series splits now? That's how far things have fallen in the Bronx that you guys, hey, we didn't lose a series.
Got to split.
Well, the Dodgers are pretty freaking good. So
yes, they are, man.
You'll take that. No, you didn't get a split. Y'all lost 2 of 3.
What?
You split a double header yesterday, but you lost.
That's what there's the split. We got the split with the double header. We lost on Friday.
You're bragging about taking 1 of 3?
Well, I got my information from this guy.
Oh, Jeets is wrong. You're blaming him?
Of course it's his fault. Been sitting around here watching TV all weekend.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Astros are awful right now. They can't win a game. Rangers dropped a 2 of 3 series to Atlanta. Atlanta's very good. The Dodgers.
Not to see that the Sox have won 13 games in a row.
The Red Sox can't lose right now.
What?
13 straight. Ties their second longest winning streak in franchise history. And all of a sudden, they are back in the playoff mix.
Who do they play? Where's their next game so I can have you people win some money?
They were 37-48 before this win streak started, and they are now 2 games over 500. They host the Orioles for a 3-game series. Baltimore's actually playing some pretty good baseball too right now. They're 3rd and 4th in the AL West standings, but both teams very much alive for a wild card spot in the American League. So hard to call a series that big in July. We still have so much of the season to go, but 2 teams playing good ball, divisional race, wild card standings.
How are your Rangers doing?
They still in first place in the American League West. They dropped 2 of 3 to the Braves in Atlanta. Braves are one of the best teams in baseball, kind of expected. And the Astros, they've fallen on some very hard times. I think the Stros have lost 4 in a row and like 6 of their last 7.
Wow.
Trade deadline coming up. A lot of Houston fans asking for their team to sell at this point. Giving up hope.
Yeah, well, the Sox, they'll hit their little downward spiral here shortly.
They're going to lose a game at some point. I'm going to make that call.
Games.
Yeah, probably lose more than 1 game before the season is over. I agree with you there. All right, we got a little more to get to. We got the BBK news, why today's not so bad. Perhaps a little bit more sound from Steve Sarkisian as well. But before we continue any further, how about a few more sponsor shout-outs, Buck?
So to the gang over at Sue Patrick, of course, since 1975, the incredible selection of Longhorn apparel, of course, collectibles, accessories, tons of Texas-themed items, gifts, books, the whole works, wide variety of men's and women's clothing. But they've got those great bowling-looking shirts, BK. The bowling shirts, Jay's got a bunch of new ones over there. They look fantastic. Great to go to dinner with, head to the movies, to go out. Somebody's going to stop you if you're wearing one of the newest shirts that they have over there, the collectibles now. They look fantastic, as a matter of fact. Online orders of $59 or more, free shipping. How about this? Free curbside pickup. Plenty of parking space, 5222 Burner Road. I told you they're restocking the Jellycat section over there right now. 50 years of serving Central Texas. It's our friends at Sue Patrick. For more information, please go to SuePatrick.com.
Yeah,
and the
Rocky.
caps.
Oh, yeah.
Get those caps.
This is a conversation starter right here. The back-to-back national champion softball hats. Love this thing. Got it at Sue Patrick.
Oh, by the way, he will have plenty of those Longhorn hats with the crazy Longhorn for going up to Dallas and going to College Station, the whole work. Oh, the fight starters. MMA hat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to get into a little skirmish at a Texas road game this year?
Yeah, wear that bad boy.
Wear this bad boy.
Wear that to Tennessee.
Yeah, first road game of the year, week 4 in Knoxville.
Yes.
Show them who the real UT is. Rock this thing.
Rock that. You're going to get it. Somebody's going to try to rip that off the top of your head.
Make sure you're a trained fighter or you have a trained fighter in your group.
That's true.
Maybe it would be my advice for that. Love Sue Patrick. Love Early Bird CBD as well.
Yes, sir.
What day was it? Friday? Friday night? Didn't do anything. Just chilled. Caught up on some work. Watched some TV. Watched some sports. Took an Early Bird gummy and just chilled. Did I eat a pint of ice cream on Friday? Can't confirm nor deny. Love the Early Bird CBD gummies. Love the drops as well. I went with one of the strawberry gummies. They've got 3 different flavors as well. Look, their products are designed to make you feel good. It's a local company right here in Austin. So you're supporting local business when you buy Early Bird. And they're available in stores, some local like Wheatsville, Co-op, some other small grocers around the city. You could buy their products in person. But if you go online to earlybirdcbd.com, you'll get 20% off your first order if you use the promo code Bucky. The gummies, the drops, we both love these products. We've got family and friends hooked on these products. Pain alleviation, taking the edge off, helping you sleep. Try these. It's not just CBD. There's a microdose of THC. So you're going to feel these products when you try them, unlike maybe some of the other CBD stuff that you've tried in the past. Get you some. earlybirdcbd.com. Again, promo code Bucky for 20% off your first order.
Yes, I'll be off my Early Bird until next week when I get back on the golf course. I promised my wife and the doctor that I would not go out there with the temperatures the way they're going to be. Get dehydrated and have something happen to my face.
Good move.
Like come on and my face is all swollen or whatever. I said I wouldn't do it. I said I wouldn't do it this week, but it's only Monday and I'm feeling pretty good. But I said I would not do it.
Your wife is leaving town tomorrow. She's not going to know.
She's going to know. She would know.
You going to tell her?
No, but I think she would know because of the phone calls I get. For some reason yesterday, BK, I don't know if you got one of these, but I have some names and stuff. 911 called me and say, did you call for our services? I touched something on my phone and I got stuff from all kinds of different people that said, Paulie was at fish camp. He's on his way back. And he said, you got an emergency out there? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. What happened? 911 actually called me and said, did you need us? I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know how that happened, but I'm getting a bunch of phone calls from people saying that my phone is indicated to them at this location. There needs to be some help. That's that stupid new phone that I got. I don't know what I hit, and even my watch was going off.
Yeah. Was it your watch? Maybe you accidentally hit something on your watch?
I may have, but it was calling people that I hadn't talked to in months. And they were like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And they said, that do we need to come out for you? I'm like, No, dude, I've not fallen. I've not done anything but sat down and watched soccer. Maybe it was so boring they were bored watching soccer and they wanted to come help me or
They're
something.
trying to save you from having to watch the soccer game.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There is a shortcut that makes it pretty easy to call 911 on your phone and your watch. So maybe you accidentally did that. I didn't realize.
Well, I know one thing with my watch. If I slam down on my watch and I hit the ground, it gives me 2 minutes to start some movement. And if I'm down for more than 2 minutes, they automatically call. They don't even wait for you. And they'll ask the question, I see that you have fallen.
Yeah.
Do you need help? But that's when I start making all kinds of moves and the thing stops and they don't come. But
that wasn't what happened here.
No, I was just sitting there.
Yeah, I didn't realize it also notified some friends when you.
It notifies some people, different people that, hey, go get this guy. My son calls me up. He goes, "What did you do?" I'm like, "I'm just sitting here watching the soccer game, dude. I didn't do anything. I didn't fall down. Call me when I fall down the stairs, will you?"
Was there an Amber Alert out for you or something?
I don't know. It was weird. It was all kinds of people call me. I hadn't talked to them in months.
Oh, it's good. You got people checking on you.
Yeah, well.
People who care about you.
Well, I don't know. They just don't want to have to pay for me. That's what it is.
Oh.
It's not so much they care for you. They just don't want to have to pay for you. You know, funerals and all those kinds of expenses. Those are expensive deals. Plus, they don't want to screw up their weekend and have to come to one of your viewings or something. You know, one of your gatherings. Don't do that to somebody.
That's why people don't want you to die. They don't want to have to pay for your funeral.
Well, they don't want to have to show up for anything.
Yeah, you're right. It costs money and it costs time. And now I got to do something. I was hoping to have just a nice afternoon. And now I got to go. This guy's already dead. He's not even going to know if I'm here.
Oh, I'm going to know that no one showed up. Yeah. When you least expect it, when you step out and you sit on the side of your bed and I grab you by the leg, you'll know.
You'll haunt the people who no show, huh?
I'll know that. Yeah, you'll know that I know.
Oh God.
But yes, I promised I wouldn't play this week, so I'm gonna stay to that. So I'll have my early bird next week.
There you go. Love early bird CBD. Quick shout out to Sleep Cycle Center as well. Hey, if you need help sleeping, maybe if you snore, maybe if your partner snores and you want that to go away, then reach out to our guy, Dr. Chad, and his great team at Sleep Cycle Center. Sleep apnea is not just annoying. It's not, I'll just drink another Red Bull, I'll have another coffee. It's all good. Sleep apnea can be the sign of a serious health problem. We talk about it all the time. NFL Hall of Famer Reggie White lost his life in his sleep because of undiagnosed sleep apnea. Had sleeping issues, never got it taken care of, literally couldn't breathe in his sleep and died. Dr. Chad lost his own father in his sleep. Same situation. That's why Dr. Chad cares so much about this. That's why he's so passionate about helping your sleeping problems go away. And it's not just CPAP. I know people hear stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to lug that machine around. It's loud. It's annoying. I'm not going to be able to sleep with that thing on. They've got oral appliances. They've got all sorts of state-of-the-art technologies that they can try to help your snoring go away and to help your sleeping problems go away. Your sleep is too important. And again, it can cost you your life if you're not getting the right sleep. Go see our guy, Dr. Chad. Free consultations to Bucky and BK listeners. Also, you mentioned this show, and you're going to get $100 off an at-home sleep study. 2 Austin area locations, one up north, 183 and Breaker, the other out in Lakeway off of 620, sleepcyclecenters.com for more information.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you know, my wife tells me don't go play golf, and I play golf, and I cross that street, and she tells me don't cross that street. She's going to take responsibility because she's my wife.
She's not taking responsibility for you playing golf tomorrow, dude. This isn't Sean Miller. I know you're trying to make the Sean Miller reference.
No.
She's going to be mad at you and only you. She will be taking zero blame if you go against your surgeon's requests and play 18 holes of golf in 100-degree temps this week.
She's not going to take responsibility as my wife?
She's going to take responsibility after she puts a foot in your ass. She'll take the blame for that. She'll happily take the blame for that.
Because she will do that, boy. She will. And she will tell me how many times she told me not to cross that street. That's for sure.
Yeah, she ain't taking the blame like Coach Miller. No chance.
Yeah, remember, I've already had her once have to come back from a trip.
You're right.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
I thought she was going to be very, very sad, about me getting that global transient amnesia. She was so pissed she had to come home.
Yeah, you ruined her trip.
How can you do that? What do you mean I ruined the trip?
You went to the hospital. You couldn't have waited to get rushed to the hospital until after she got home? Very selfish. Very selfish of you.
It came upon me. I was
You
with
got
you
to time your medical emergencies a little better.
I was with you that morning. It just came upon me.
You're right. You got in the car with you that morning. I don't know. Both of us could be dead right now.
Not knowing how to get home is a really strange feeling, folks.
Yeah. I'm glad you're alive to tell the tale. Glad this guy's alive. Buck, we get to the BBK news to wrap up a Monday show. I know you've seen this video because you and I were talking about it on the phone this weekend, but maybe there are some people out there who haven't. Now, this thing went so viral. I'm sure a lot of y'all know exactly what we're talking about. Perhaps this is the craziest clip that I've seen so far in 2026. And for those of you listening, we'll be able to explain what's going on here, I think. But we might need your play-by-play here. This is the craziest video I've seen so far this year, and I think there's a good chance it holds on to that title for the remainder of 2026. A clip that went viral last week from Yellowstone National Park. It is a grandpa and his grandson, and not a young grandson. Sometimes you hear that and you think it's Gramps walking around with his 2-year-old or whatever. No, this is like a high school, college age grandson walking around Yellowstone with grandpa, and they're walking around the park and they stumble upon a bison. Now, when I say stumbled upon, I don't mean like they turn a corner and then 5 feet away is a bison. They're like eye to eye and it's, oh God, we're in trouble.
It was 100 yards away.
I would say 100 yards away on the other side of a street from the bison. Seems like a safe enough distance, right? And these guys aren't riling up the animal. They're not yelling, woo, doing stupid stuff.
Taking pictures.
They're just taking pictures. They're minding their own business. They're at Yellowstone doing what I think most people at Yellowstone do, just walking around enjoying themselves, minding their own business. Well, check out this clip right here. The bison across the street gets up, shakes his head. You can see him, the tail's wagging a little bit. He's eyeing them, and he starts charging across the street, aiming right towards these two guys who are kind of hiding behind trees. They're trying to run away. I guess I'm doing the play-by-play here. You see the grandpa and the grandson. They're trying to keep their distance, not doing anything to rile up the bison, but the bison's still pissed. He keeps charging, turns directions. We got a chase going on, and then boom!
Wow.
The bison,
Man.
I don't want to say spears. I don't think he got horn inside guy.
Nah, he just lifted him up. He propelled him.
Propels this old man, this grandpa, who's moving pretty good.
65 years old.
He's moving pretty good, like able to avoid the bison for a while. But, I mean, this thing's on 4 legs. It's fast. He's big. At some point, he's going to catch you if he really wants to.
2,000 pounds.
2,000-pound mammal here. And, yeah, he bucks this guy 8 feet, 10 feet in the air?
8 feet.
You're going 8 feet?
8 feet. It was an 8-footer.
Okay.
Damn.
I mean, and then just straight up.
He breaks his legs in a couple places.
Are you reporting that, or that's just what you think from watching?
No,
this
I'm reporting. He had surgery. He had a couple different broken bones in that leg, in his right leg.
Oh my God! Yeah, the bison just knocked him straight
up.
What
happened to the kid? I'm not going to let. If I'm a high schooler, I'm not going to let my grandpa get. I'm going to make that bison going to have to do a lot of chasing to get to me. Plus, I noticed that the trees weren't very tall.
Yeah.
But I am going to shimmy up one of them trees.
You're not climbing a tree. You don't have the ability to climb up a tree high enough and fast enough to avoid that bison. No way.
I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not. I know one thing. If I'm the kid, I'm going to save my grandpa.
Well, what do you do? It's the classic, like when you're maybe camping and you encounter a bear, you don't need to be faster than the bear. You just need to be faster than the guy you're with.
Or you think Grandpa was trying to get away?
Well, of course, the young guy is going to be faster than guy he's with. Now, yeah, you probably should try to defend your grandpa a little bit more. But maybe in the kid's head, he's like, this guy's close to dying anyways. I got more life to live.
God. He may be able to take, he's bigger than I am. Maybe he can take a better hit. That bison propelled him so far in the air.
You know, the kid was wearing a Dolphins jersey. I don't know if you caught that. He deals with enough pain in the fall. Maybe he didn't want to deal with any more pain from that bison. It's like the Buffalo Bills bucking him off.
I noticed the guy in his F-150 got the hell out of the way.
Well, that guy might have saved this dude's life.
Was he the one blowing the horn?
When the older man hit the ground, there's no sound in that clip, but when the older man hit the ground after he got tossed up in the air, the bison didn't run away, just kind of stood there. And I'm thinking, oh, the bison's not finished with this guy. The bison could easily kill this dude if he wanted to. This guy's pretty much immobile at this point. He's got him right where he wants him. There's a pickup truck that you see kind of later in the clip who honks his horn a bunch, and that distracts the bison, and he eventually goes away, and they're able to get medical help to the grandfather. But how about that? Yeah, I thought that bison could have and was going to gore the guy on the ground. So, yeah, shout out to the guy in the truck who started yelling and honking his horn. And then there were a few other observers who started yelling at the bison too, and eventually the bison ran away. I guess got spooked by all of the noise that was going on around him and then ran. But how about that?
How about going to your insurance company with bison marks on your truck or your car?
Well, the car, I mean, he didn't hit the car, he hit the person.
I know.
Car's fine. Truck's fine. Yeah, man, it's just a wild scene. Thankfully, everyone's alive, but this could have been really, really bad. And this is real, not AI. This is a legit clip from Yellowstone National Park. And Buck's not giving any play-by-play. Just staring.
Yeah, that bison's tearing up all of those little cedar trees, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, what do you do if you're in this spot? You're not outrunning a bison. Like, I mean, you said climb a tree. Do you try to pick up a rock on the ground and start not throwing them at the bison, but maybe throwing them to the side, trying to distract him, his attention will be elsewhere? You can't fight. I don't think throwing a rock at the bison is going to do you a whole lot of good. It's probably just going to piss him off even more.
I saw some little cars. You can't jump into somebody's little car. They're going to lock you out.
Yeah.
That bison will overturn one of those cars.
What's the protocol? Because I think this guy tried to – he's hiding behind trees. I feel like that's the right thing you're supposed to do, trying to hide to where he can't see you anymore. But obviously it didn't work well enough. He didn't hide well enough. I don't know.
Well, being an old cowboy, I know from experience that bison can smell you. So.
Yeah, but there are people walking around this park all the time. I don't know what got the bison so riled up. Look, he's just a wild animal. It's what they do sometimes. But I don't know why he felt the need to go after these people. There's probably the 100th people who walked by this bison that day. Look, there's
that old man's cologne must have not been very good.
Oh, maybe that was it. He's wearing Sex Panther or something.
Yeah.
50% of the time, it works every time.
Man, wham.
It looks like a cartoon. How the guy gets lifted, flipped, tossed in the air.
Like you said, the bison's still standing right there.
I'm telling you, dude, he's staring him down. He could have killed that guy, and thankfully there were other people, which they helped a little earlier, but there were other people to distract him enough to get him to go away. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't even know how old the kid was, but a little kid can't do anything about it. But if that's a teenager, I'm not going to let my grandpa. That bison's going to have to be chasing me all over the place around the cars that are around there. That bison's going to have to be pretty good going around those cars or through that car because I'm going close to where the cars are.
So the grandpa is 65, Carl McDaniel, broken femur.
How old's the kid?
Grandson, 13.
Yeah, that's kind of borderline between being a chicken and being, sorry.
Teenager.
Sorry. Hey, something, hey, your time has come, Grandpa.
Yeah. He also,
I wouldn't let my grandpa take that hit.
What do you do then? You just stand in front of your grandpa and say, "Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 13."
Yeah, I would distract him to not go after my grandpa. Come chase me. See if you can get how fast you get around this damn car.
Yeah.
All those cars that were parked. Now
Well,
somebody's
the car's not in the way. There's no
No,
car blocking.
I'm bringing the bison towards that. He's going to
Oh.
have to run with me and
All
chase
right.
me around. I'm not going to let my grandpa get hit.
Yeah, maybe the grandpa's cologne was bad. I don't know. Maybe the kid tried. Didn't seem like he did.
Well, it's said that the grandpa was there trying to help his kid. He was the one putting himself out there.
Good grandpa. That's probably what most grandpas would do in that situation.
Yeah.
Like,
But once again, if you're 13, 14, 15, I'm not going to let anybody in my family take that hit. I go out there and distract that and say, hey, come chase me. Hey, I'm an athlete. I'm a student athlete.
yeah, broke his femur in 4 places.
How about
Thankfully, had
that?
surgery. He's able to walk. Like he's going to make a recovery, it seems. But holy crap. It's like, and it's kind of funny. Thank God we can laugh at it. Thank God the guy is okay. But again,
Yeah.
the way he got, like, it's just the most insane video I've seen this year. And I don't think anything's going to top that.
No, that could have been, that guy could have fell on his neck. He could have landed on his neck at
Yeah.
65 and been dead.
Could have been
Dead
a
on
lot worse.
contact.
Dead on contact. Yeah. And out at Yellowstone, too. I guess there's people around. Again, people came to this guy's aid pretty quickly, and he was able to get taken to a hospital right after. But, man.
Yeah, that's wow. That's crazy. That's when I have those places where you can go safari, you take your car through and lions and stuff.
And
And
local
people
TV
actually get out of it.
station. Go ahead.
People get out of their car to miss. Look at a bison. speaks
Local
out.
TV station caught up with a bison afterwards, and he said, "I was too drunk that day," explaining why he charged that random person. So,
Those dudes are big, aren't they?
yeah, I think we're talking 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that right? 6 foot tall bison. 3,000 pounds. Again, thankfully everybody is
I've been out
okay.
there with my bison gun.
You got one of those?
No, I got a little 22 that would have made him so pissed if I'd have shot that at him.
Yeah. You may need a rocket launcher to take that thing out.
Yeah. Here, take this grenade.
So there's your BBK news. Today is National Moon Day. On this day in 1969, very nice, Apollo 11 lunar module lands on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin become the first humans to land on the moon. And of course, you get Neil Armstrong saying, "One small step for man, one giant leap for D's nuts."
Yeah, I think I was an 8th grader.
You remember that?
Yep. I was at a little old Catholic school, right at St. Simon and Jude Catholic School.
There you go.
Down the street from us. Yep.
Where we photoshopped and put a green screen behind those two guys, acted like they were on the moon.
No, we really went there.
No, you don't buy into the conspiracy theories on that?
No.
Yeah. Well, National Moon Day, also National Pennsylvania Day. So congrats or something to you.
Yeah, born in Philadelphia.
There you go. National Lollipop Day and National Fortune Cookie Day.
Not a fortune. I don't do those.
You don't do fortune cookies?
No.
Really?
No, I don't. No, I never. If I go and have Chinese food or whatever, I don't ask for a fortune cookie.
Okay. I mean, I don't think they taste very good, but I feel like it's part of the bit. You got to have a fortune cookie at the end of a Chinese meal.
It's a little harder than a vanilla wafer. They don't do anything for me.
Yeah, you do it more for the fortune and not for the food, right?
Yeah, that's what people do, but I don't need my fortune told I don't need any ancient Chinese secrets.
Disrespect.
Yeah,
I don't need those coming out of a cookie.
You're right. You've never trusted Asians, so you don't want to hear what they have to say about your.
I just need this Mega Millions to come through tonight.
We got a big one right now.
Yeah, we got a big one tomorrow. Yes.
Uh-oh. All right. Godspeed.
Yes.
I hope you're taking Wednesday off because you're celebrating winning hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wouldn't do that. Wouldn't take off on Wednesday for that.
Really?
Yeah. I always thought, what do you do if you hit the lottery, BK? What would you do? Do you go down there I've gone down because I've had to cash a ticket down there before, $600 I got. But if you had $700 million, do you go down there? You don't go down there by yourself with the ticket, do you? Do you go down there with counsel or
you go down with an attorney and you go down with an armed person?
Would you go with an armed person?
Well, I don't know. Where do you go? Is it like the Capitol building? You might not be able to take a gun wherever you go.
It's right down there. It's right by the Bob Bullock Museum. It's right there.
Okay, yeah, right there then.
You just
I don't know. I'm calling up like Casey Studdard and Lyle Senline as my bodyguards. They're
make
coming
the trip down there with you.
I'll pay them a little something to help, and then I'm calling one of my Jewish lawyer friends. I guess they don't have to be Jewish, but most of them are. And
just go in there and go with you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be signing something that will screw you up later on down the line.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want the person signing off on my money doing something that says I'm taking it. It's actually going to me.
Yeah. You don't want the lady behind the counter to just switch that over, have that ticket in her hand.
Exactly. Take no chance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well, that will do it for a Monday show. Thanks to all of you people for tuning in. Phil Steele's going to join us tomorrow. Yes,
Awesome.
That's Phil Steele. Also, our guy Chris Phillips from SEC Unfiltered will join us. So we'll talk plenty of SEC Media Days, which, of course, are going on this week. And the Buck and I will be back tomorrow. More sound from Steve Sarkisian. And who knows what the world is going to bring us over these next 22 hours. But we'll be back tomorrow. Buck, good to have you back.
Good to be back, buddy.
Yes, sir. And we will talk to you people tomorrow.
Welcome.
Up.